You are listening to a story on Sirio Stories, where your IQ is always respected. Enjoy the story. I am the billionaire young master of the Diamond World elite. But I concealed my identity, living an ordinary life with my wife for 3 years, to narrow the gap in social standing between me and her. I even secretly supported her career to reach the global top 500. After she succeeded, I planned to reveal my identity. But she insisted on a divorce, kicking me out of the house with a divorce agreement. She said I was no longer worthy of her. She even deliberately linked arms with her first boyfriend, her first love, and proudly introduced him to me. Allow me to introduce you. This is my fiancé, young Master Steve, the infamous crown prince of the Diamond World. I looked at the unfamiliar face of that man, astonished. I have 3 incredibly beautiful, talented, and powerful elder sisters. But when did an unauthorized younger brother suddenly appear? The time has come for the identity of the crown prince of the Diamond World, the son of the richest man, me, to be exposed. At this moment, I was hauling bricks at a construction site. Suddenly, 2 luxury cars and several bodyguards appeared on the empty lot. Wow, which film company is here shooting a movie again? I didn't bother and continued my work. But the colleague next to me nudged me. Greg, look quickly. Isn't that Sarah, the beautiful CEO of the Perez Real Estate Group? I heard she just broke into the global rankings with assets worth trillions of dollars. Why is eldest sister here? I wiped the sweat from my forehead, thinking, oh no, not just her, but second sister and third sister are here too. Isn't second sister at the annual International Piano Festival in England? Does third sister, busy with surgeries all day, even have the time? It turns out the whole gang came together to corner me. I was just about to scratch my ear when eldest sister grabbed me. You little brat. You left home for 3 years and ended up hauling bricks at a construction site. If you hadn't messed with the family connections recently, we wouldn't have tracked you down. I was about to speak when second sister, dressed in a pristine white, elegant dress, walked over. But her words were anything but polite. For an ordinary girl, you wouldn't be the young master of the Steve family anymore? Where is she? Why isn't she here hauling bricks with you? They can criticize me, but not my wife. I instinctively retorted. Sister, my girlfriend Laura is very capable. Now she's opened her own company and negotiated many big projects. She currently earns thousands of dollars an hour. How could I bear to let her suffer? Eldest sister's grip tightened further. I pleaded with my eyes toward third sister, mouthing, save me, third sister. Since childhood, she was the one who loved me the most. Who would have thought? She stepped down from her heavy motorcycle, took off her helmet, her face darkened, as if she could drip water. Serves you right, you don't need your parents anymore? You don't even need us. Your sisters? You're asking for a beating. Third sister said, pinching my ear, which hurt even more. I had to circumvent the issue, laughing awkwardly. Sisters, I'm dirty. Please don't dirty your clothes. Second sister poked my forehead, sighing helplessly. You only care about love. Hurry up and pack your things. Come home with us. Mom and Dad are returning from abroad in a few days. I quickly followed them, explaining. Sister, it's not like that. Laura's family background isn't good, and she's sensitive and emotionally fragile. I was afraid she would feel pressured knowing my family is the richest. So I hid my identity. But now she has her own career. I should be honest with her. This time, she won't feel inferior. She won't think she's being abandoned by the rich anymore. Wait for me, Laura is truly outstanding, beautiful, and kind. You'll know once you meet her. But why did my 3 sisters turn and look at me with eyes as if I were an idiot? Finally, eldest sister glanced at me irritably. Whatever, if that's what you want. We'll handle Mom and Dad. Hurry up and give them a chubby grandson to cheer them up. But, not visiting her family for so many years. It is indeed our Steve family's negligence. You come home with us first. Tomorrow, We will bring the betrothal gifts and apologize. Great. I was just taking off my gloves when my phone rang. It was my mother-in-law. Greg, I give you 10 minutes. Get back home and divorce my daughter immediately. My phone was a knock-off. And even without speakerphone, the voice was clearly audible from 2 or 3 meters away. My sister's gazes toward me grew even more puzzled. They all heard everything. Downstairs by the apartment building. Eldest sister, second sister, and third sister leaned against the cars, their expressions all serious. Do you really not need us to come up with you, Greg? Can you handle it yourself? I waved my hand, smiling carelessly. It's fine. My mother-in-law has a bad temper, but she loves Laura very much. There must be some misunderstanding this time. Third sister patted my shoulder. All right then, we'll be downstairs. Call if you need anything. But as soon as I entered the door, before I could even speak, my mother-in-law threw the divorce agreement straight at my face. The sharp edge of the paper cut the skin on my face. I wiped the fresh red blood. What's going on, Mom? I still suppressed my anger, asking patiently. My mother-in-law's face darkened. She pointed at me and began to curse. Don't call me Mom. I don't have a poor, low-life son-in-law like you. First selling street food, then rotten fish, and now hauling bricks at a construction site. You're truly a useless lump of mud that can't be used to plaster a wall. You've disgraced me so much. The mother-in-law finished speaking, took out her phone, and played the voice recording Laura sent. Listen to this. My daughter just successfully negotiated another big deal. The profit alone is 30 or 40,000, enough to buy Tony a BMW. Now she has assets worth tens of millions. She's more than qualified to match even the richest young master in Inter-Miami. Be sensible and divorce her quickly. Don't ruin my daughter's future. My daughter and you are simply not in the same world anymore. I knew about my wife's project. I saw that she was restless and anxious about the company's revenue for the past few days. So I felt sorry for her. So, I called my eldest sister's secretary and asked him to give her a little consideration. Mom, you can't be so unreasonable. When Laura started her company, I was the one who gave her the startup capital. My mother-in-law pressed close to me, poking my chest one finger at a time, sneering. Are you even worthy? My daughter achieved what she has today. First, because she has a born talent for business. Second, because of her effort. And third, because of my upbringing. What does it have to do with you? Can you stop trying to claim credit for a good thing, all right? Is it that hard to save face? As she spoke, she deliberately covered her nose, making a disgusted face. Look at you. How many days has it been since you showered? You stink to death. You're polluting the air in my house. My brother-in-law, who was playing games on the sofa, glanced at me contemptuously. He put down his phone, picked up the divorce agreement from the floor, and threw it at me again. Brother-in-law, if I were you, you should sign this obediently and get out. After all, we aren't demanding compensation from you for my sister's lost youth and emotional distress. You should burn incense and be thankful. The brother-in-law finished speaking, aggressively ran into the bedroom, brought out a suitcase, and kicked it onto the floor. Take your things and scram. You motherless, fatherless beast. You've sponged off our family for 3 years. You thick-skinned, useless bum. So, this is how they viewed me for the past 3 years. I had preserved the larger picture for my wife, afraid she would be awkward between me and her family. I treated my mother-in-law like my own mother, treating her well, with good food and nice clothes. I fulfilled every request from my brother-in-law. Now, my love and respect for my wife had become capital for them to insult me. Where is Laura? I want to talk to her. I sat back down on the chair, speaking calmly. Marriage is between two people. I love Laura, and Laura loves me too. She can't divorce me. It turns out that when a person is angered to the extreme, they become calmer and colder. You mangy dog, you shameless scoundrel. It seems I've been too good to you. That's why you're pushing your luck. I'm going to beat you to death today. My mother-in-law wandered around the living room looking for a weapon. My brother-in-law promptly handed her a rolling pin. Mom, use this to cripple him. Make him cough up everything he's sponged off our family for the past 3 years. Who's afraid of whom? I studied combat martial arts in school. Moreover, my brother-in-law and mother-in-law's small figures are no match for me. What's all the arguing about? Greg, what are you doing now? I turned my head. It was my wife coming home. Oh, Laura, you're back. You must stand up for your mother. Greg was trying to beat your mother and me to death. The mother-in-law finished speaking and rolled onto the floor to throw a tantrum. The wicked filed the first lawsuit. I truly give up. My wife looked at me angrily. Greg, you disappoint me too much. It seems divorce is the right thing to do. I carefully grabbed my wife's hand, my voice full of disbelief. Wife, what are you saying? Isn't our life perfectly fine? But before my hand could touch Laura, it was violently shaken off by her, as if I were a hateful fly. Greg, you didn't hear wrong. I'm the one who wants to divorce you in this marriage. My mind was reeling, standing frozen on the spot. Why, aren't we living well? It took me a moment to regain my voice. Why, do you still have the nerve to ask me why? What have you done for this family in the past 3 years? All you do is eat and sleep every day. You don't even have a decent job. If it weren't for me, you'd be sleeping on the streets. I looked at her blankly. Didn't you say you didn't want a man who was too rich? Because wealth would corrupt him? Did you just wish for an ordinary husband to accompany you every day? One who didn't need to go out for socializing or drinking? That you would have a hot meal to eat when you got home from work? That when you were tired, I could massage your feet and wait on you? Because of those reasons, I hid my identity as a multi-billionaire young master. My wife let out a cold laugh. Greg, you're too naive. I was just making casual talk, and you took it seriously? I'll tell you the truth. I'm about to get a multi-million-dollar order from the Perez Group. And you'll forever be a rotten lump of mud in the gutter. Destined never to catch up to my steps. Unworthy of me. I really wanted to laugh. Laura, if I told you that the order from the Perez Group was obtained because I helped you, would you believe it? My wife sat down on the sofa, her eyes full of dismissiveness and contempt. Greg, what are you implying? You're lazy, causing trouble all day. And you lie constantly, always bragging. Divorcing you is truly the best decision of my life. I knew that even if Laura said it, she wouldn't believe it. Arguing with someone who will never believe you is like casting pearls before swine. Today, I considered that I had clearly seen the true faces of their entire family. A person who suddenly became rich immediately kicked out a poor husband like me. Laura, you will regret this. I picked up the divorce agreement, just about to sign when a strange man rushed in. He put his arm around Laura. Regret is what you'll feel. Greg, you've been thrown out of the house, and you're still putting on airs here. You must be Laura's useless husband, right? Sponging off your mother-in-law's family all day. I know you're a man who needs pride. And it's fine if you don't want to admit it. But what can you offer Laura? Money, villas, luxury cars? Or, can you satisfy her in some other aspect? The man looked up at me, sneering, a cold smile on his lips. He stood on his toes, leaning close to my ear to whisper. I knew this man. It was John, Laura's first boyfriend, her first love. I heard he was a rich second-generation heir. Back then, he went to study abroad, found a girlfriend who was a suitable match, and dumped Laura. So, this is the real reason you want a divorce, right? I glared at Laura, but she didn't dare to look me straight in the eye. Greg, is it manly to pressure a woman like this? John held Laura's hand, pulling her behind his back to protect her. I can connect Laura with the Perez Group for her, helping her company grow strong. And what about you? Besides sucking her dry and hindering her, you've done nothing. What a huge joke. Laura was determined to start a company. I used all my pocket money from childhood to fund her startup capital. The company was newly established, without resources or connections. I secretly asked a subsidiary of the Perez Group to give her the green light and preferential treatment, helping her company get on track. She wanted to grow stronger. So I asked my sister's secretary, the CEO of the group, to clear the path for her and overcome all difficulties. It was only because I cared too much about Laura's self-esteem that I let them insult me time and time again. The order from the Perez Group was obtained by you? Then who are you? I coldly looked at John, asking word by word. John was startled, his eyes evasive. He was about to speak when Laura pushed me away. Greg, why are you being so aggressive? You're incompetent and narrow-minded. What, are you going to hit someone now? I'll tell you the truth. All these years, the person I've always loved is John. Every minute and second I spent in bed with you, I felt disgusted. Even when we were doing that, he was the one I thought of. Now I've found the person I love most. I hope you respect the 3 years I've fed and housed you. Grant us our wish, and get lost. I let out a cold laugh. So, your so-called sexual frigidity was also about saving your chastity for him? Laura's face flushed. Greg, what you're saying is pointless now. I've given you enough face. If you don't want it, I don't need to be polite to you anymore. You were a fool from beginning to end. A poor lowlife. I said I was frigid, and you believed it. I'll tell you the truth. Just smelling the reeking sweat from your street vending and brick hauling, I wanted to vomit. Even if you bathe 100 times, you can't wash away the stench of poverty on you. Perhaps it touched the deepest, most uncomfortable, and dirtiest part of her heart. Laura's hands trembled slightly with agitation. John also spoke. I'm sorry, Laura. You've had to suffer all these years. We broke up due to a misunderstanding back then. It was my fault. But from now on, it won't be like that anymore. I've returned and I will protect you forever. John squeezed Laura's hand, trying to comfort her. Laura's eyes were teary, looking at John with affection. What a scene of deep affection amidst the rain and dust. Greg, aren't you going to ask who I am? The Perez Group, do you know it? The 3 Perez siblings, the 3 pinnacles in the world of commerce, medicine, and art. The 3 prestigious young ladies. Do you know them? My brother-in-law's eyes lit up. Brother John, so you are their only younger brother? The youngest master of the Perez family, right? The crown prince of Inter-Miami? My daughter truly has beginner's luck. My mother-in-law finished speaking, then quickly spat out, "Phooey phooey," chastising herself. What am I saying? My daughter is so outstanding. How can you say just anyone is worthy of her? The mother-in-law finished speaking, deliberately glaring at me. That look was insidious, vicious, and arrogant. Immediately afterward, she spoke flatteringly to John. Oh my, I knew your demeanor was so good and you were so handsome. Your whole being exudes noble, wealthy aura. John adjusted his suit jacket, puffing out his neck. Auntie, just be humble. Our Perez family motto is to be reserved and not ostentatious. If my 3 sisters found out, they wouldn't let me off. My brother-in-law immediately became respectful, even placing his index finger over his mouth. He was just short of kneeling down to lick his heels. Yes, 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 brother-in-law is right to teach us. I stood dumbfounded on the spot, looking at his face which bore absolutely no resemblance to the Perez family. Pondering. Huh? Is this allowed? When did I get a fake younger brother without knowing it? Laura, I'm only going to say this once. I am the young master of the Perez family. Believe it or not, it's up to you. Don't come crying to me when you've been deceived. Having said that, I took the divorce agreement and signed it without hesitation. From now on, we go our separate ways. But there will be a day when you all will pay for your actions today. Greg said he's the eldest young master of the Perez family? My mother-in-law mumbled those words. Everyone looked at each other, stunned. Suddenly, my brother-in-law burst into laughter. Mom, did you hear what this idiot said? He said he's the young master of the Perez family. Well then, I'll say I'm the father of the richest man. My mother-in-law glanced at me. Greg, if you're going to brag, you should at least prepare a script first. The Perez young master isn't named Perez but Cruz? Are you just talking nonsense for the sake of pride? I've seen thick-skinned people, but I've never seen anyone this thick-skinned. You've lost all dignity, yet you desperately try to put on a show. How can your skin be so thick? Oh, who decided that children must take their father's surname? I chuckled coldly, speaking slowly. My father loved my mother, so he told me to take my mother's surname. But how does that concern any of you? John gave a thin, scornful smile. Some people truly won't shed a tear until they see the coffin. I've been at the Perez residence for so long. Everyone knows their young master went to study abroad. How could he be here hauling bricks? I sneered. That's right, as years pass, truth and falsehood are hard to distinguish. Some people need to be careful, lest they dig their own grave. Perhaps exposed. John's face was utterly grim. Auntie, if my sisters knew I was insulted by a fake in your house, they certainly wouldn't be happy. You jinx, are you trying to ruin my family? How dare you offend the Perez young master? My mother-in-law shoved me. John, please don't be angry. This scoundrel is no longer related to our family. Get out, get out, get out, get out of here quickly. Don't be an eyesore. You've dirtied my floor. My mother-in-law spoke, kicking my suitcase. Suddenly, she seemed to remember something and stopped. Tony, did you check everything inside? Don't let this lowlife steal anything from our house. My brother-in-law patted his mother-in-law's hand. Don't worry, Mom, these are the items I personally selected for him. They are all the ragged clothes he wore while street vending and doing odd jobs. He won't take a single thing that belongs to our family. And Laura, she coldly held John's arm, watching me being insulted at will by her family. In the past, I must have been blind and thick-headed to have lived with them for 3 years. I should stay as far away from this kind of trash as possible from now on. Laura, I won't take a single item from this house. But the jade bracelet on your wrist, take it off. That is my family's heirloom, passed down to daughters-in-law through the generations. You and your family are unworthy. Hearing me say that, Laura's face turned red. She tugged hard, making her wrist red before managing to take it off. Here, take this trash, as if I craved it. I was about to take it when my brother-in-law snatched it away, pretending to examine it closely. Let me see what kind of good thing this is. Turns out it's just market trash. Some people actually treat it like a treasure. Truly ignorant of the world. Having said that, my brother-in-law smashed it hard onto the floor. The jade bracelet shattered into pieces. I bent down, carefully picking up the fragments. In the reflection of the floor, my eyes were bloodshot. Tony, do you know what you just broke? This jade bracelet has been passed down for hundreds of years in my family. Cherished and treasured through many generations. Now it's broken in my hand. How am I going to face my ancestors? My brother-in-law pretended to be scared, gently patting his chest. I'm so scared. Don't tell me this ragged bracelet is only worth 30 or 50,000. So what if it's a little bit of petty cash? My sister can certainly afford to pay for it. But I won't pay for it. Are you mad yet? Because you don't deserve it. I glared at him. Jade has a price, but is priceless. Tony, you just wait to rot in prison. See you in court tomorrow. Having said that, I was about to leave, but John wouldn't allow it. He grabbed me. Greg, you faker. You insult and mock me. And then use a fake bracelet to frame Laura's family. Now you want to run away? I'm warning you, my 3 elder sisters are extremely protective of their little brother. Offend me, and I will make sure you have no sweet fruit to eat from now on. And can't find a job? You can go eat garbage at the landfill. What can be tolerated should be tolerated. What cannot be tolerated should not be. If I don't teach this kind of trash a lesson, he truly won't know his place. I punched John in the face. Blood immediately seeped from the corner of his mouth. Eldest sister once taught me not to punch the nose, as it's easily broken. Multiple breaks count as minor injuries. It's not worth going to prison for this type of person. But if I didn't teach him a lesson, I wouldn't be satisfied. My mother-in-law was so scared that her eyes were wide, and her hands trembled as she pointed at me. You beast, what are you doing? You dare to hit the Perez young master? My brother-in-law quickly went to get an ice pack for John. Brother John, are you okay? This was done by that scumbag. It has nothing to do with our family. Please don't be angry. Laura was even angrier, her whole body trembling. Greg, I truly misjudged you. So angry you speak nonsense. And now you resort to violence. Where are your morals and upbringing? And you brag about being a crown prince? Who are you trying to fool? John spat out a mouthful of blood, looking at Laura regretfully. Laura, I know this has nothing to do with you. But if my 3 sisters find out I was hit in your house, I'm afraid the order. Laura looked at John hesitantly, taking a deep breath, as if making a very difficult decision. John, I'm sorry to make you suffer this injustice. Having said that, Laura turned around and suddenly slapped me. The slap was too fast, I didn't react in time at all. I never thought Laura would physically hit me. When this thought flashed through my mind, I found it funny again. She could save her chastity and cheat for her first love. So what else couldn't she do? Greg, kneel down. Kneel down and apologize to John. We'll let this matter drop. Otherwise, I will call the police and have you rot in prison. I almost thought there was something wrong with my hearing. As for John, he raised an eyebrow, looking at me smugly, as if saying, See, this is the consequence of offending me. I want you to die without a burial place. My mother-in-law added fuel to the fire, raising her hand to hit me. I leaned away to dodge. She fell to the floor, face planting into the ground. Laura's slap was unexpected. I absolutely would not allow myself to stumble a second time in the same place. Greg, you murderer, you dare to resist? I curled my lips, looking at my mother-in-law with contempt, coldly. I never hit women. But if she's no longer human, I don't mind educating her. Having said that, I raised my hand, intending to slap my mother-in-law. Perhaps seeing my fierce and dominating gaze, which had never appeared before. My mother-in-law fearfully closed her eyes. So, you also know fear? How sad. One cannot be too benevolent as a person. Otherwise, they will take an inch and demand a mile. My brother-in-law cautiously walked to John, probing. Brother-in-law, quickly call your sisters. Tell them to come deal with this scoundrel. Could that bracelet actually be real? John hesitated. That's right, should I call them? Forget it. My sisters hate it most when I rely on the Perez name to bully others. As for the bracelet, don't worry. I don't think it looks real. The look of smugness on Laura's face deepened. John, I didn't expect you to be so generous and magnanimous. I truly didn't choose the wrong person. Not going to call? I don't think so. Is it that you don't dare to call? Having said that, I took out my phone and called my elder sister. Eldest sister, second sister, third sister, please come up here. There's a person named Steve here who claims to be your younger brother. And he said I bullied him. Asking you to come and stand up for him. Oh, and while you're at it, find a jade appraisal expert to come too. Someone smashed Mom's heirloom jade bracelet. John, didn't you say your 3 sisters are very protective of their little brother? Well, today I want to see how they protect you. You ignored the path to heaven, and yet stormed the gates of hell. So, die comfortably. John's eyes darted around, he frowned and pondered for a moment. The person you said is the eldest sister. She's not Sarah, the one who holds power at the Perez group, is she? I sneered, nodding in confirmation. Suddenly, John burst into laughter. I clearly felt him sigh in relief. As far as I know, My sister Sarah is attending a trade conference abroad today. How could she be in the country? Hearing him say that, the tension in my mother-in-law and brother-in-law's expressions noticeably eased. That's right, you also said you wanted to call a jade appraisal expert, didn't you? Then I'll call one too. Adam, the true disciple of the great Master David. The highest level appraisal master in our Miami. Great Master David's reputation rings out nationally and internationally. When Master Adam arrives. Greg, don't you dare piss your pants. My brother-in-law's nose was tilted high in the air. You Brian, you brag so much, aren't you afraid of biting your tongue? My mother-in-law stood up from the floor, dusting herself off, and scoffed. Oh my good son-in-law. My Laura worked so hard and managed to connect with the Perez family. And yet she doesn't even have the phone number of the Perez eldest daughter. Greg. Only you, this street vending, brick hauling failure, have it? What? Did she come to your stinky tofu stall to buy something? My mother-in-law finished speaking and burst into laughter. Just keep laughing. The crazier the better. Don't people say? Those about to die fear nothing. And to destroy, one must first drive mad. I swept my eyes over each of them. The reason you don't know is because you are not qualified. Laura showed disgust, pushing me away. Greg, can you stop pretending? How disgusting are you? I must have been blind to fall for a braggart and liar like you. Get out of here immediately. Don't pollute everyone's sight anymore. Is that so? I'd like to see. Who has the audacity to slander my younger brother? At this moment, my 3 elder sisters walked in. The rest of the people in the room, except me, stared blankly at each other. Who are you? How dare you barge into my house? I'm warning you, get out. Otherwise, I'll call the police. This is illegal entry. The first to react was my mother-in-law. Indeed, old Ginger is spicier. It's just a pity she's a rotten, moldy piece of ginger. Eldest sister glanced past the mother-in-law, speaking indifferently. If it weren't for my younger brother being here. Do you think people like you would be worthy of my sisters and I stepping into your house? Younger brother? My brother-in-law looked at John, asking suspiciously. Do you know these 3 people? Or are they the legendary 3 Perez sisters? John wiped the sweat from his forehead. What nonsense are you talking about? Do you think you're the Perez eldest daughter just because you say so? Who can prove it? My sister Sarah is a person who earns 7 figures in a minute. How could she know a peasant like him? I used to think John was foolish for carelessly borrowing authority. But now I understand. He truly doesn't know my sisters. But deep down, he is even more certain that I, the brick hauler, could never be the young master of the Perez family. That's why he slid down this path of error. Indeed, bad people also have logic. It's just that his perception limited his imagination. Eldest sister walked up to John, delivering a powerful slap across his face. John covered his face, his eyes wide with surprise. By what right do you hit me? But before he finished speaking, he received another slap from my sister. The first slap is because you insulted a farmer. In this world, occupations are not high or low. Without them, where would you get your tall houses and wide gates? The second slap is because your tone annoys me. John pointed at my eldest sister. Don't throw your weight around here. I've never seen you at the Perez house. Are you an actress hired by Greg? Or are you his mistress? Laura, I already told you. This Greg is no good. Besides, I heard from my third uncle that my sister Sarah is meeting abroad and can't possibly be here. But before he could react, he received another slap from my eldest sister. This time his face was swollen and bleeding from the corner of his mouth. What is this time for? In the air, only John's angry growl remained. But his hand showed no intention of fighting back. It seems he is also a coward who only bullies the weak. Strong on the outside but empty inside. Because you don't even recognize your own sister. Don't you deserve a beating? Pooh, you're not my sister. I just checked. There are no flights from England that could get you back in time. So, how much did Greg pay you to come act? Or how much did you spend to keep him? I'll pay double. I never lack money in my life. Eldest sister gave a thin smile, looked at me, and then said, I apologize. Poverty has limited your imagination. You ask why I took a private jet back? You are not worthy to know. At this moment, I noticed that ever since my 3 sisters walked in, John's way of addressing my sister had changed. He no longer called her just sister, but Sister Sarah. Your private jet? Why don't you take a rocket back? I've seen braggarts, but I've never seen anyone brag as foolishly as you. My brother-in-law slapped his forehead. Sister, I understand now. I wondered why Greg went out to work every day, but didn't bring home much money. It turns out he was going out to support women. I said it, he's no good. Daring to go without touching you all day. It turns out he was philandering everywhere, sowing his seed wildly. But before he finished speaking, his mouth was sealed by third sister with silver needles. Third sister is a PhD, a cardiovascular surgery expert. But she is usually very fond of research. I didn't even clearly see how she performed the manipulation just now. When I reacted, the 2 ends of the silver needle had pierced my brother-in-law's upper and lower lips. Humph, if some people's mouths can't be used, then let's stitch them up. Third sister casually spoke. Seeing this, my mother-in-law immediately lunged towards third sister. Although third sister regularly works out, her overall physique compared to my mother-in-law's plump figure might put her at a disadvantage. I intended to shield third sister. I only saw her swiftly insert 2 needles into the outer ankle and wrist of my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law immediately couldn't move. If you don't want your son to die unexpectedly, then stand still obediently. Third sister used a silver needle to press against the back of the mother-in-law's neck. Speaking coldly, that was the first time I saw her so dominating and powerful. Who are you trying to fool? In this era, acupuncture points and silver needles are all martial arts. Do you think this is a TV drama? My mother-in-law's forehead was covered in cold sweat, but her verbal intensity was undiminished. Mom, I really can't move. Only now was the mother-in-law bewildered. Laura finally spoke. I heard that the third young lady of the Perez family is a very formidable expert. Greg, are these 3 really your sisters? Are you really the young master of the Perez family? But that's not right, you're clearly named Brian. No, something must be wrong. John pulled Laura's hand. Laura, you can't just judge people by their appearance. Don't be fooled by them. They're actresses hired by Greg to deliberately support him. To slander me. To sow discord between you and me. To make you prejudiced against the Perez family. Laura realized with a start. So, you really are actresses hired by Greg. Intentionally helping him put on airs, slandering me, and sowing discord between John and me. To make me prejudiced against the Perez family. This Laura is truly a professional actress. Actually, Laura is inherently very smart. This time, is she possessed? Or has she not realized how utterly foolish a mistake she has made? Or, has she never truly believed me in her heart? She doubted every word I said. Whereas John's words were golden rules. She even believed her own judgment more than she believed me. Young Master Steve, why did you call me here? What is it you need appraised? A middle-aged man wearing a Tai Chi uniform walked in. Master Adam, you've arrived. Please help me see, is this jade bracelet real or fake after all? John saw Adam and his expression immediately relaxed. The man who claimed to be Adam picked up the broken jade bracelet, carefully examined it, and then looked at John. Master, someone said this is their family's heirloom jade bracelet. Priceless with a price? John spoke while subtly winking at Adam. Adam suddenly pretended to realize. This is fake. Market trash. It's probably only worth $100 or $200. My mother-in-law suddenly burst into laughter. I told you. How could this brick holler be the Perez young master? If he were the Perez young master, Why would he take a liking to my daughter? And let us bully and curse him for 3 years. Kneeling beside my daughter like a dog. Indeed. My true affection, in their eyes, became the capital to trample on my self-respect. Laura sighed. Greg, I'm tired. Please leave. I'll be generous and not hold this against you today. But the people you hired injured my brother. You must compensate us $100,000. No $1 million. My mother-in-law shrieked, demanding an exorbitant price. John looked at me smugly, walking towards me step by step, patting my shoulder hard. Buddy, out of respect for us being men, I'll give you 2 pieces of advice. A man must be honest. Don't talk nonsense and brag all day. You'll dig your own grave. But before he finished speaking, the person who called himself Adam was kicked over a meter away by someone else. You faker, who gave you permission to use my name for scams outside? Adam held his face, feeling immensely wronged. Master? Who is your master? If you want to die, don't drag me along. Don't let me see you again in the future. Otherwise, I'll beat you every time I see you. It turned out that Master David had arrived. My parents are very fond of jade ware. Master David often came to my house. Over time, we became acquainted. Master David slapped Adam twice. Adam was terrified and screamed frantically. I apologize, young Master Greg, I caused you trouble. Master David wore a Tai Chi uniform, already possessing a certain air of a wise, immortal sage. This bow made me even more uncomfortable. Grand Master, I troubled you today. The young master's matter is never a small matter. Grandmaster David finished speaking, then gently nodded to my sisters. The 3 young ladies are also here? I heard the old master and madam are about to return from abroad. I recently crafted some jade pieces. I will bring them over in a few days. Eldest sister quickly stepped forward. Master David is too kind. Seeing you have business, we'll take our leave first. Master David paused at the door, turning to speak to me. Young Master Greg, if you are free, come to my place for a game of chess. Without an opponent, this old man gets restless. I nodded, seeing Master David off. By this point, Laura's family was completely bewildered. You're really the young master of the Perez family? My mother-in-law's eyes were wide as she looked at me. Then at John. John, what exactly is going on here? Perhaps Master David was also bought off by them. I truly gave up. This John is still jumping around even at death's door. At this moment, Laura suddenly remembered something. She took out her phone. Searching for a picture of Grandmaster David online. It didn't look fake. 3 sisters. Laura held her phone, staring intently at my 3 sisters, almost gluing her eyeballs to them. So, you 3 really are the Perez eldest daughters? I gave 2 cold laughs. Laura. This time, you finally can't say that the picture online is photoshopped anymore, can you? John, so you've been lying to me all this time? Why? Laura was filled with disbelief, pain, and confusion. She shook John's shoulders hard. John stiffened his neck, his face showing no hint of remorse, with a devil-may-care look. Laura, I've loved you for so many years. Yet you don't trust me. You only trust them. Such a clearly rigged play. Can't you see it? They are working together to put on a show. Laura bit her lip tightly, tears streaming down her face. I used to be most afraid of her crying. But now I find she deserves it. There is nothing more murderous and heartbreaking than being betrayed and deceived by your first love. Suddenly, John lunged, grabbing my collar. You murderer. You made my Laura sad. I'll kill you today. But I punched him repeatedly, every blow finding its mark. In an instant, John was beaten until his face was bruised and swollen. I was already taller than him. And for the past 3 years, I had done all kinds of heavy, dirty work, giving me immense strength. Eldest sister's high heels stepped on John's face. Speak, who exactly is this 3rd uncle you spoke of? Is he one of my Perez family? I want to see who gave you the guts to run rampant outside. Half an hour later, my father's driver, Messi, ran in, panting. "Third uncle, you finally arrived. Uncle, there's an impersonator of the young master here. Uncle, save me quickly." Messi saw me and was startled. Without a word, he delivered 2 powerful slaps to John's face. The force was immense. John fell to the ground. "You wicked bastard, are you trying to kill me? All day long you eat, gamble, and womanize outside. Now you're even calculating against the young master and the young ladies." I apologized to the 3 young ladies. "This fellow is the failed son of my second older brother. This matter has nothing to do with me. I didn't know he was running amok and borrowing authority outside." Eldest sister sighed, looking at me for my opinion. I sat on the sofa, looking at John's bloodied face. He had said that if I were the eldest young master of the Perez family, he would twist his neck off to be a ball and make me kneel down to apologize. Messi's face, dark as the bottom of a wok, became even more unsightly. He hit John even harder, beating him half to death. "You scoundrel, did you eat a leopard's guts and a bear's heart? Kneel down and apologize to the young master." John collapsed onto the ground, staggering, as if about to fall. "Young master, I apologize. It was I who failed to recognize Mount Tai. Please, you are a great man. Don't hold this against a small person. Spare me. I really didn't mean it. It was Laura who seduced me. She said she didn't love you at all. I was just momentarily possessed by the devil." My mother-in-law shrieked, demanding a sky-high price. John looked at me smugly, walking towards me step by step, patting my shoulder hard. "Brother, for the sake of us both being men, I'll give you 2 pieces of advice. A man must be honest. Don't talk nonsense and brag all day. You'll dig your own grave." But before he finished speaking, the person who called himself Adam was kicked more than a meter away by someone else. "You faker, who gave you permission to use my name to scam people outside?" Adam covered his face, feeling incredibly wronged. "Master? Who is your master? If you want to die, don't drag me along. Don't let me see you again in the future. Otherwise, I'll beat you every time I see you." It turned out to be Master David. My parents loved Jade Ware very much. Master David often came to my house. Gradually, we became acquainted. Master David slapped Adam twice. Adam was terrified and screamed in a panic. "I apologize, young Master Greg, I caused you trouble." Master David wore a Tai Chi uniform, already possessing a certain aura of a wise, immortal sage. This bow made me even more uncomfortable. "Grandmaster, I troubled you today. The young master's matter is never a small matter." Grandmaster David finished speaking, then gently nodded to my sisters. "The 3 young ladies are also here? I heard the old master and madam are about to return from abroad. I recently crafted some jade pieces. I will bring them over in a few days." Eldest sister quickly stepped forward. "Master David is too kind. Seeing you have business, we'll take our leave first." Master David stopped at the door, turning his head to say to me, "Young Master Greg, if you're free, come to my place for a game of chess. Without an opponent, this old man's hands are itching." I nodded, seeing Master David off. By this point, Laura's family was completely bewildered. "You're really the young master of the Perez family?" My mother-in-law's eyes were wide as she looked at me. Then at John. "John, what exactly is going on here?" Perhaps Master David was also bought off by them. I really gave up. This John is still jumping around even at death's door. At this moment, Laura suddenly remembered something. She took out her phone, searching for a picture of Grandmaster David online. It didn't look fake. 3 sisters. Laura held her phone, staring intently at my 3 elder sisters, almost gluing her eyeballs to them. "So, you 3 really are the Perez eldest daughters?" I gave 2 cold laughs. "Laura, this time, you finally can't say that the picture online is photoshopped anymore, can you?" "John, so you've been lying to me all this time?" "Why?" Laura was filled with disbelief. pain, and confusion. She shook John's shoulders hard. John stiffened his neck, his face showing no hint of remorse, with a devil-may-care look. Laura, I've loved you for so many years. Yet you don't trust me. You only trust them. Such a clearly rigged play. Can't you see it? They are working together to put on a show. Laura bit her lip tightly, tears streaming down her face. I used to be most afraid of her crying. But now I find she deserves it. There is nothing more murderous and heartbreaking than being betrayed and deceived by your first love. Suddenly, John lunged, grabbing my collar. You murderer. You made my Laura sad. I'll kill you today. But I punched him repeatedly, every blow finding its mark. In an instant, John was beaten until his face was bruised and swollen. I was inherently taller than him. And for the past 3 years, I had done all kinds of heavy, dirty work, giving me terrifying strength. Eldest sister's high heels stepped on John's face. Speak, who exactly is this third uncle you spoke of? Is he one of my Perez family? I want to see who gave you the guts to run rampant outside. Half an hour later, my father's driver, Messi, ran in, panting heavily. Third uncle, you finally arrived. Uncle, there's an impersonator of the young master here. Uncle, save me quickly. Messi saw me and was startled. Without a word, he delivered 2 powerful slaps to John's face. The force was immense. John fell to the ground. You wicked bastard, are you trying to kill me? All day long you eat, gamble, and womanize outside. Now you're even calculating against the young master and the young ladies. I apologized to the 3 young ladies. This fellow is the failed son of my second older brother. This matter has absolutely nothing to do with me. I didn't know he was running amok and borrowing authority outside. Eldest sister sighed, looking at me for my opinion. I sat on the sofa, looking at John's bloodied face. He had said that if I were the eldest young master of the Perez family, he would twist his neck off to be a ball and make me kneel down to apologize. Messi's face, black as the bottom of a wok, became even more unsightly. He hit John even harder, beating him half to death. You scoundrel, did you eat a leopard's guts and a bear's heart? Kneel down and apologize to the young master. John collapsed onto the ground, staggering, as if about to fall. Young master, I apologize. It was I who failed to recognize Mount Tai. Please, you are a great man. Don't hold this against a small person. Spare me. I really didn't mean it. It was Laura who seduced me. She said she didn't love you at all. I was just momentarily possessed by the devil. Laura looked at John in surprise, biting her lip to keep the tears from falling, slapping John hard across the face. John, are you a man or not? I gave up so many things for you, spent so much money on you. In the end, you'd treat me like this. Laura, you despicable bitch, you dare to hit me? Having said that, John tore Laura's clothes. Greg, young Master Brian. He bullies me, I dare not resist. But Laura, your little slut, why should I tolerate her? You deserve to be slept with by others. You're indecent, cheap trash. And you think I crave you or miss you? Truly dog eat dog, mouthfuls of fur. I casually drank my juice, listening to them argue fiercely. Only now did I realize. It turned out that John owed a pile of gambling debts outside. Was being chased by the underworld, living worse than a dog. His purpose in coming back to Laura was to swindle money from her. The mother-in-law saw her daughter suffer injustice. How could she bear it? She immediately delivered a slap to John, joining the fight. It's all your fault, you murderer. You tore apart my daughter and my good son-in-law. Greg, it's all my fault for not knowing how to raise my child. Can you forgive Laura one more time? I'll kneel down to you and kowtow to admit my mistake. It's all my fault. Please absolutely don't be angry with Laura. It wasn't easy for us to get through those hard times. You've seen everything these past years. That's right. I pulled them out of the abyss of poverty, giving them a good life. But they bit me back. Truly a bloody tale of the farmer and the snake. Laura carefully grabbed my hand. Husband, can you forgive me? Actually, the person I love most has always been you. The hurtful words I said before, I said them in a fit of anger. In truth, I deeply regret it. You lied to me for so many years. Hiding your identity has also hurt me. So, let's call it even. Can we start over? I was genuinely amused by Laura's audacity. Laura, I hid my identity. Don't you know the reason why? You have high self-esteem. You don't allow a man to be superior to you. So I willingly slaved away for you. But what about you? You betrayed my true feelings. Furthermore, I already said, I can give you everything. And I can also make you lose everything. Sister, tell your secretary to cancel the cooperation with Laura's company. I flung Laura's hand away, turned my head, and left. Laura collapsed onto the ground. Husband, I truly know I was wrong. Can you forgive me? I'm not a person. I'm not an object. You can scold me, hit me however you want. Just don't be angry with me. Laura finished speaking, paused for a moment. The loud sound of a slap echoed in the air. Even I heard the pain. I actually admire Laura. To be this thick-skinned. For money, she can be completely flexible. When I had nothing, she treated me like a piece of rotten filth, tossing me around, letting her family insult me, completely disregarding my feelings and self-respect. Now that she knows my identity, she's clinging on, kneeling and begging, like a dog pleading for reconciliation. Too bad, I'm not interested. Greg, my daughter has knelt down to you. What more do you want? I stood still, not turning my head, coldly saying, after 1 month to cool down, we'll meet at the Civil Affairs Bureau. From now on, your bizarre family should get as far away as possible. Otherwise, I'll beat you every time I see you. On the way home, I was very curious about one thing. Can third sister's acupuncture really make people unable to move? Second sister smiled mysteriously. Actually, it doesn't have that effect. Although ancient texts record that acupuncture points indeed have this efficacy. It must be after the asterisk chi is activated, causing numbness, swelling, and pain. The patient was too stressed. Their muscles contracted, bending the silver needle inside, creating the illusion that it's not easy to pull out. The more tense and afraid they are, the more they feel unable to move. So that's it, it was all just psychological. Eldest sister, is my face better? I want to go study medicine with third sister. Then who will inherit this Perez family business? I've been managing it for you for so long. You should start shouldering some of the responsibility. Oh, come on, eldest sister, give me a break. Just mentioning this gives me a headache. I'm not a business person. My requirement for myself is just not to lose money or sell the house. Second sister, sitting in the passenger seat, turned her head to look at me. We can let him take his time. But regarding Master Messi, how do you plan to handle him? Little brother? Fire him. He has no son and practically treated John as his own. Therefore, there must be quite a few shady deals under his watch. He can't be as innocent as he claims. But he has dedicated so many years to the Perez family, even without merit. He's put in the effort. Find a nursing home for him to enjoy his retirement. Eldest sister patted my head. Well done, you little brat. After 3 years, you've grown up a lot. You handle things more maturely and steadily now. I looked at the lush, green rows of trees reflected in the window, like a fleeting glimpse of a horse passing a crack. If I had a choice, I would rather be a simple, carefree youth forever. But life always teaches you to grow up, to be mature. For many years, I always lived under the wings of my sisters, too well protected. Which is why I never saw the wickedness of human hearts. Will Laura's shamelessness ever end? Indeed, I guessed correctly. In the following month, she was like a piece of dogskin plaster, clinging tightly outside my house. On a night of heavy rain, Laura knelt outside the door, without an umbrella, letting the rainwater soak her, steadfastly looking up at the second floor where I lived. The honey trap tactic of self-inflicted misery. How ridiculous. I covered myself with an umbrella and opened the door. She was kneeling on the ground, swaying as if about to fall. She looked up at me, her eyes desolate and pitiful. Husband, I know you still care about me, right? I love you. Can you forgive me? Care about you? Don't you see the umbrella is still covering me? I can't bear to let myself get even a little wet now. Laura, don't disgust me. If you keep clinging on like this, be careful, I'll let the dogs bite you. Having said that, I was about to turn and leave. Laura suddenly stood up again, lunging to hug me. I shoved her away hard. She fell back, sitting in a puddle of water. The look in her eyes was full of dissatisfaction and resentment. Greg, we've reached this point. Don't you bear any responsibility at all? You shouldn't have lied to me. If you had revealed your identity as the eldest young master earlier, would I have cheated? I looked down at her from above, exposing her word by word. Laura, you would still have cheated. There is no cat in this world that doesn't steal fish. And women like you will never be satisfied. Furthermore, I already told you. But you didn't believe me. You only believed yourself. No, and your first love, male god, too. Was Laura kneeling to beg for reconciliation truly sincere remorse? How could it be? Because she was afraid of punishment. One word from me caused her company to go bankrupt in just half a month. Before, she was my treasure. The resources and connections of my Perez family would naturally be for her to enjoy. But now many people know about us. And they also know the attitude of my Perez family. I don't even need to show my face. Everyone turns their sails to the wind, isolating her, immediately cutting off their relationship with her, and even making things difficult for her. This is the nature of people. Get out, don't let me see you again. Greg, I'm pregnant. Laura's scream mixed with the sounds of rain and wind. I turned around, looking at her with a calm expression. A faint smile even curved on my lips. Is that so? Congratulations. You finally have the crystallization of love between you and your first love male god. Laura shrieked maniacally. It's yours? Mine, what the hell are you saying? I haven't even touched you. And you're saying it's mine? I knelt down, gripping her neck, coldly. Can you be more sensible? Forget it, a person like you can't raise a good child either. So don't let it be born to suffer anymore. I stood up, tossing the umbrella away, letting the rainwater splash onto my face. Walking into the villa without looking back. Behind me was Laura's faint sobbing. Greg, do you really not care about me anymore? Before, when you loved me, you wouldn't have cared whether this was your child or not. What? Have you gotten into the habit of being cuckolded? What a pity, she reaps what she sows. Butler, tell someone to drive the fly away from the door. It keeps buzzing and flying all day. It's annoying. The moment I walked out of the Civil Affairs Bureau after receiving the divorce certificate. Laura was crestfallen, heartbroken as if she had lost her mother. That's right. She lost a mobile ATM, which must be extremely painful. Greg, I'm giving you one last chance. Are you really not reconciling with me? What do you think? I stood by the roadside, preparing to get my car keys. Then don't blame me. Laura finished speaking, a vicious, malicious look flashing in her eyes. Afterward, I felt two strong forces suddenly from behind, pushing me into the middle of the road. A black car sped toward me in time. It was about to hit me. I managed to lean away and dodge, but I was still grazed. Fortunately, it was only superficial scratches. My heart pounded chaotically. Before I could react, I heard a loud collision. A person, like a kite with a broken string, was thrown far away. The whole world seemed to stop at that moment. It took me a while to realize. There was someone behind me just now, probably intending to push me further. But because I dodged in time, he fell into the road due to inertia. I truly survived a great disaster. If Third Sister hadn't taught me footwork and acrobatics since childhood, today, under the instinct of survival, the dead person would have been me. The siren of the ambulance, along with Laura's earth-shattering cries, pierced my eardrums. Tony, Tony, open your eyes, it's your sister. Don't sleep, you'll be fine. Greg, you murderer, give me back my brother's life. Laura glared at me fiercely, as if looking at an irreconcilable enemy. What a pity, she found the wrong target. The person she should be looking for is the hit-and-run driver. Does he want to run? Now there are electronic cameras all over the streets. How can he escape the punishment of the law? The net of heaven is vast, though its meshes are coarse. Nothing escapes it. In the hospital, Laura and her mother-in-law knelt constantly. My mother-in-law knelt on the floor, pleading with me. My beloved son-in-law, I beg you to save my brother. Greg, for the sake of you once being my son-in-law, save my son. I lost my husband early, and now I only have this one son. I can't lose Tony too. If I lose him, how will I live? I beg you. I'll kowtow to you. Quickly call your sister back for the surgery. Tony suffered a traumatic aortic dissection and needed emergency surgery. The best doctor in all of Inter-Miami is my third sister. But putting myself in others' shoes. If the person lying there was me, would they save me? No, how can a murderer save someone? They would only gloat and mock me behind my back. I would be dead, and they would be living happily as if nothing happened. I apologize. My sister is participating in an academic conference abroad and cannot return. I still have to go to the police station to give my statement. But my mother-in-law hurriedly stood up and blocked me. You can't go. My son is in this state because of you. You must save him. Doesn't your family have money? Doesn't your family have a private jet? Quickly call your sister back. Starting the hypocrisy game, let's see if I'll pay her any attention. I slapped my mother-in-law. Your mouth is so foul. You should rinse it in the toilet bowl. It was your son who tried to kill me. I have a great destiny. So I dodged. Now, it's just heaven's justice. Actually, third sister heard about this, called me, and said everything was up to my decision. But I felt they weren't worthy. It's not good, the patient's heart has stopped beating. A doctor rushed out, announcing the patient's condition to the mother-in-law and Laura. The patient's chances of survival are very slim. We asked the family to prepare themselves mentally. Laura stood up trembling, leaning against the wall, her eyes manic. Greg, I will kill you. If I hadn't met you, I wouldn't have become this way. My brother wouldn't have died either. I slapped Laura. I actually always looked down upon men who hit women. But the premise is that she must first be a person. I will certainly live well. But you, not so sure. I hear that now prisons don't just do needlework. They can also sing and develop other talents too. I hadn't finished speaking when two police officers approached Laura, handcuffing her, and considerately putting a coat over her. Ms. Laura, you are suspected of involvement in a case of attempted murder. We are ordering your arrest according to the law. It turned out the hit-and-run driver had been found. It was John. I had already guessed it was him. John was heavily in debt, chased by the underworld, living worse than a dog. He blamed all the fault on me. If I hadn't exposed his identity as the eldest young master of the Perez family, he could have continued to borrow the eldest young master's name to scam everywhere, living a life of luxury. When the police told me these things, I truly felt a pang of sorrow. Bad people never think they are wrong. This is the nature of people. But the law would not spare him. As for my mother-in-law, unable to bear the shock of losing her son and her daughter facing prison, she was so angry that she suffered a stroke, a cerebral hemorrhage, and fell into a coma. For the rest of her life, she will likely remain a vegetable, never waking up. On the day Laura and John were sentenced, I was having a headache from being badgered by my 3 older sisters. I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, little brother has to go to the company with me. Then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, little brother has to go to the hospital with me. If you don't take over soon, who will inherit the hospital later? You two are too much. Why does little brother only get to go with me for one day? Shut up. Eldest sister and third sister said in unison. Second sister, you tricked me into performing a four-hand concerto. Now look. So many beautiful, sexy women keep adding my contact information all day. I'm getting a massive headache. I slumped on the sofa, looking at them irritably. Eldest sister, second sister, third sister, why don't you quickly find husbands and get married? You little brat, dream on. Eldest sister finished speaking and clapped her hands. Dozens of beautiful, charming, and seductive girls entered the living room. Choose carefully, there's bound to be one among them who suits you. Don't worry, this time, we've investigated very thoroughly. They are all decent girls. I looked at the girls with delicate faces but enchanting, sexy, and alluring figures before me. Smiling and saying, switch to another batch.